rock out. So I figure we can get maybe a good, like 45 minutes, right, just of phone. We'll just work on the phones, okay? And what I thought about is, let's work two avenues of it. One, we'll talk about like the objections whenever they first come in, okay? You know, like objections like, you know, what's your best price? Stuff like that. Like some people, you don't even get to work in the deal because they just got things they want to say, they're going to say them, and then how you respond, okay? And then we'll talk about the other side, which is going to be, guy says, hey, you know, I'll take that. I'd like to make a deal. You go to get credit. And then right now, I'm guessing your managers, you know, give you kind of like a pencil, you know, that's in-house, or tell you what at least the numbers are going to be, and then you got to pick up the phone and call them and disclose, right? And I want to go through that part because I think that that would be like negotiating, but it would be on the phone. So I want to see what we do, how we do that, and you know, your words are everything, and also the way you impact your customer, because on the phone it's different than being in front of them. You can have voice, you can have tonality, you can have your words. They can't see any of this. So it's like, you know, I want to see that side. And I'll role play it. So it's like we won't tell each other what we'll do. I'll just be like, ring, ring, I'll hit you up, and then Gion's going to talk. Is that cool? You know, and we'll go through it. So I put together a piece of paper here. And it's pretty easy. Let's just say the price is here, actually this is probably more realistic here. Let's say the price is $32.9. Okay? Is that cool? Yeah. And this is going to be an 18 F-150 four-wheel drive. It's got 32,000 miles. That sounds about right, a price on something like that. Yeah. Let's say we're not getting into trade yet, but a guy's got a 16 F-150, just so we can play scenario, four-wheel drive, you know, he's got 90K on it. And, you know, I don't know, hell, let's say he's paying $450 a month, and, you know, this sucker's gonna be $580, right? Okay, at the end of the day, this guy's gonna be 4 hours away. We'll set this piece of paper for like the entire role play deal. Is that cool? So we really just stick on one subject. All right, so let's do this.
Are we gonna start from the beginning, like from a regular cold contact?
Yep, I got you. And actually, I'm gonna start with you. Okay? Appreciate you. All right, so let's do this. So, are you ready?
Well, I'm not getting into a pencil on the first call.
Right. You're just answering the phone. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'll handle that. I just wanted to tell you up front what we're going to be doing. We're going to be covering answering the phone and objections, and then presenting, and then you know, overcoming objections during the negotiating. Because right now we're disclosing a lot of numbers over the telephone. Jerry, you get nervous over there?
Sipping coffee.
I'm getting short of breath. I don't know about y'all.
Okay, listen. No, this costs nothing, and I'm going to tell you this. Here's the beautiful thing. As we're going through this, if someone else has something to say, we'll run it through everybody. Okay, so you'll get a chance to hear everybody, and you know, we'll work it out. Because what I always say isn't right. It's just what anybody has to say that works is what matters. Okay. All right, ready? Okay. All right. Ring, ring.
Hey, this is Gian. Thank you so much for calling. How may I help you?
Hey Gian, what's going on, buddy? Hey, I was calling about that 2018 F-150 I saw on the internet.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, we have it out on the lot. I just saw it the other day. What questions do you have on it?
Okay, Gian, so, well, number one, I'm calling from 4 hours away, okay? So I normally don't do business, you know, outside of maybe 30 minutes from my home, but I did find your truck on the internet. So I have a question I want to ask you. What is going to be your best price on this? And listen, and this could be the internet BDC girl had given you this lead and you're calling it back, right? I'm going to just kind of iterate. It could be, I spoke to that young lady on the phone, and she said you were going to contact me, and I was asking her what the best price would be, and she said she needed to have someone get back with me. I see it priced at $32.9. What's your best price on that truck?
I'd be more than glad to get you the best price. But Andy, you said something that interested me. You said that you usually don't do business from 30 minutes to your location. How come you're calling me 4 hours away?
We've literally been locked in with this coronavirus. I have found myself just cruising all over the computer.
So you saw that we're the best price? Is
No.
that why you're calling me from 4 hours away?
No, I don't think that you're the best price. That's why I'm asking for, you know, what is your best price?
So what caught your attention on my truck if you're calling me 4 hours away?
It's a nice four-wheel drive truck. It seems like it has the miles that I want, so I figured if I can make you a good enough deal, I'd make the drive.
Hey, look, all right, perfect. Look, my computer's resetting right now, brother. But while it's doing that, let me ask you a couple of questions. What's your first and last name?
My name's Andy.
Andy. Last name?
Elliott.
Andy Elliott. Man, it's a pleasure meeting you. My name is Gian. And while it's restarting, real quick, on a scale of 1 to 10, with financing being issued,
No, okay, great.
Good deal.
I'm texting you now.
Because right now during this coronavirus deal, not only do we deliver cars, but we also have extremely killer financing programs going on to our dealers.
Cool, I got great credit. So that ain't a problem.
Good deal. With that being said, brother, my best price is going to be the price that you saw on the internet. My computer just got up. But here's what I can do for you. When my manager's ready that you can do a deal right now, my manager's usually a little bit more flexible on the prices. Your presence is your leverage. But since you aren't able to come to my dealership, we can work out something over the phone.
Okay, so what would be your best price on the truck then? Going back to the third time.
Well, the best price on the truck is the price you saw online.
Okay, I
Actually,
appreciate
you
it.
have to add a $4.99 documentation fee to it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep peeking around then, and then I'll get back with you. I just wanna see what kind of deal I can make.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, all right, let's go to the next one. This is a true conversation, right?
That literally
exactly
happens.
Yeah,
That's
that happens all the time.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I thought you did
cool.
very well, though, buddy.
Yeah.
You did really well.
I thought you did a very good job.
Yeah.
Since his first contact, you got his name, his info. You know caller ID by the number. You're writing that down already, but you got his contact. That gives you to be able to say, Andy, hey Andy, listen, you're a smart guy. You know what I mean? You can just.
So,
That's good.
Good.
You
boss,
got
anything
you
else?
always
What would
get
you do?
contact.
Hold on. Here's what we're gonna do. Ready, Bobby? Ring, ring.
oh,
Thanks for calling Seth Wally Ford. This is Bobby. How can I help you today?
Okay, wait a minute, let's back up, because obviously you have a BDC department.
My bad.
You're-
You're right.
you're
You're right.
calling me.
I'm calling.
Yeah, so here, you ring me. Yeah, this is Andy.
Hey Andy, this is Bobby over at Seth Wally
Yeah,
Ford. I just
girl
wanted to
gave you the lead.
touch base with you. I'm following up with Caitlin. She's my internet director. She said you're really interested in this truck, and man, I just wanted to answer any questions you might have.
Yes, no, I'm so glad you got back with me. So, the 2018 Ford F-150, it looked like it had 32,000 miles. She told me that it was still available. So, my question to her was, what is your best price on the truck? I'm 4 hours away. And she said that she needed to get with somebody else. So, it sounds like I'm talking to the right guy. What is going to be your best price on that pickup truck?
Man, Andy, you sound like a very, very smart guy. I know you're probably shopping. First and foremost, we're not the cheapest in the market, but I can guarantee you that our price online is the best advertised price. The reason why is because folks like you have to do the shopping online, and we make it easy for them. If we're transparent on all these third-party advertisement sites that says we're a great deal here, then our advertised price is the best. Now we've got a documentation fee of $4.99, and typically I can see my managers waiving that. I'm not going to miss your business by over $500 is what I'm saying, but truly the advertised price is the best price, Andy.
Okay, well, I just want to call and see if I can get a better price. So, I think I'll do a little more looking around and then I'll get back with you.
Hey, Andy, listen. While I've got you on the phone, I know this truck sounds right to you, so do me a favor. What were you anticipating? I mean, logically, what were you expecting as far as an offer? Because I want to make sure we don't miss your business right now.
28,000.
28,000. Typically, 4,000 of markup is not what we have on each unit. Now, on a brand new pickup truck, that's a $60,000 sticker. $4,000 is that's a reality I could do for you. But on this used truck, sir, we just don't have the markup on these days. I can tell you the reason why is because if I was to just completely make you go through the hoops and discount it $4,000 in the midst that I was going to earn your business over the phone call, now you think I'm making $4,000 on you right away, and that's not honest, is it?
Okay, hold on. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, because I want everybody to listen to different stuff, okay? Everybody right now is in their head thinking, I wouldn't do that. I don't like that.
True.
Or I
True.
love that.
yeah, I
Right.
like some of that, but I don't know what I do.
Right, so right now you're finding yourself, and in the end we'll talk about it, okay? All right, cool?
Yeah.
And then I'll let somebody ring me again, okay? And then we'll go through it. Cool? Okay, all right, so Jerry, let's go to you. All right, ready? Ring, ring.
Boss, are you calling me or am I calling you?
Oh yeah, you're calling me. All right, hey Jerry, you're calling me back about that F-150. I appreciate you getting back with me. Caitlin told me that someone was going to be getting with me. I was asking her about the price. Thank you for calling me back, Jerry. What's the best price on the 18 F-150 truck?
I just want to verify that this is the one we're talking about, the one with 32,000 miles. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, you bet.
All right, awesome. Here, first thing I want to do is I want to go out there, I want to put hands on it. Is there any other questions that I can answer for you other than the price question, sir, while I go make sure the vehicle's still there?
No, that's it. I mean, really, it's an 18 truck, so it should be in pretty good shape, right?
Yeah, it is in pretty good shape. It also goes through multiple point inspections to make sure that the vehicle is 100% ready to go for market. We don't usually advertise it until the vehicle is ready to go. So you are correct in that. Now, have you ever bought from Seth Wally before?
No, I'm 4 hours from you, and I've never been in Oklahoma, and I'll never be in Oklahoma.
Man, you know what? That's awesome. Every time we get a new customer here, I just get excited. So let me tell you something a little bit about Seth Wally. I know you're going to be a little bit further away from us, but we do offer engines for life and Toyota oil changes. Now, I know you're probably not going to be able to use a lot of that stuff, but if you're ever in the area, come by and say hi to me. That's just included with the price, okay? Now, let me do this. Are you going to be in the area anytime soon?
No.
No.
I'm never going to be in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So
So,
if I make a deal with you guys, we'll be working out a delivery.
got you. Now, we do offer free delivery, sir. Is that something that you've been shopping around? Is other dealers offering that? for you?
Yeah, everybody's offering it. I just want to know about the price.
Okay, I completely understand. Let me ask you this. What's a good contact number? Is this one the best number to reach
Okay,
you?
let's say you have it.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get with my boss and I'm going to verify that this is the best price and I'm going to give you a call right back, sir.
Okay, call me back.
Okay. No, hey Andy, I just got done touching base. You got time to talk right now? Is that
Yeah,
good time?
great.
Okay. Hey, perfect. So I talked to my boss and what we did is like that price is going to be our best advertised price right now, sir.
So you can't do any better.
Sir, we're always going to be able to do a little bit better when you're in person.
And what can you do?
Well, what we need, sir, where are you trying to be at exactly?
28,000.
28,000. Well, I completely understand that we're a little bit far apart right there. Obviously, whenever we're advertising a vehicle, what we do is we put our best foot forward out there, sir. And so we don't advertise our worst price, we advertise our best price. And the reason for that is that everyone's got tools nowadays that shows the market value of the vehicles. And I know you're looking for a deal, and that's why you called. You're probably shopping me against 20 other dealers. And I know you're 4 hours away, so the deal's got to be good. That's correct, isn't it, sir?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here, I'm here to give you the best deal I possibly can. Not just about the best price, but the best deal I possibly can. Okay? Now, let me ask you this. Have you verified how much service work the other people have done for? Because there's a thing called upfront costs and there's a thing called long-term costs. Okay? Are you familiar with those terms, sir?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, upfront cost is what you pay for the vehicle initially, sir. So, for example, there might be someone out there that has a price of $29.99, but hasn't done $3,000 worth of work to the vehicle. They didn't go through a formal used car inspection. They changed the wipers, changed the oil, and put the thing on the lot. My vehicle goes through a multi-facet 120 point inspection. What that means is you may pay less for another vehicle, or you may pay more for mine on the other side of the coin initially, but over the long-term cost of this deal, okay, over the loan, you're going to pay less on mine because mine's been fully taken care of, okay, sir? So, what if I could do this? And I'm just asking, what if I could do this? I do have a documentation fee of $4.99, okay?
I got you. You're doing good.
Yeah.
Okay. You started to pull yourself out of the hole
Yeah.
once you got warm,
Yeah.
which it just shows you why training helps you so much, because it works out these things in your
Right.
mind.
Right, I figured out like where I need to get to.
Yeah, where you doing?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, you're pulling it out.
Yeah.
Got it. Good
I was
job.
good.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. You ready?
Hey, what you did was good was about selling the dealership over the phone. Have you ever bought from us before?
Well,
That's something that I mention myself, but I don't just push it right from the very, very beginning because it's something nowadays that you assume that most people know.
Well, remember this. You've taken a 30-minute relationship with somebody on the lot, right? And now you're taking a 2-minute phone call. Okay? You got to realize you guys got to be lethal
Right.
with your words.
I felt like it took me too long to get there.
It did. It took you
Yeah.
way too long because I could have went boop boop. Okay,
Right.
not interested.
Right.
And guess what? Your best magic trick, right, needs to be played up front. So let me tell you how advertisements work. Okay? If I'm going to advertise something, it's called hook, story, close. You don't get to the story if you don't hook them. Hey, guys, listen, I got this workout deal. It's killer. You guys are going to really want to hear a lot about it. Beep, they're already off the ad. They've heard that ad.
Do you
Watch
guys want
this.
to get shredded? Do you
Watch
guys want
this.
to get absolutely
Yeah.
fucking jacked?
Hey, here's the commercial. Listen, do you want to lose 30% body fat in 15 days? If you want to lose 30% body fat in 15 days and look like this, right? I can show you, eat whatever you want and have a six-pack for the rest of
And
your
never
life.
go to the gym.
And guess what? Hold up, babe. I gotta watch this dude, what he's doing. There's the hook.
Yeah.
Now, he gives you a story, okay? And then he goes for the close. Hook, story, close.
Right.
So remember for the rest of your life, if you don't hook somebody early, guess what? They're done. You're never gonna get to the story.
So I should start off with after the initial introductions, the upfront, the long term versus the initial cost is what I should.
So let's do this. So I'm gonna, obviously we've talked about this. I'm gonna let Levi jump into the next one, but let's go back to this conversation. All right, it was ring ring, I'm calling you back, right? The guy says, hey, what's your best price? Okay? At that point in time, you have about, 15, 20 seconds to give an answer that makes this guy feel comfortable to do business with you and talk numbers with you, or he feels like you're incompetent to talk about numbers with him and you're hiding something.
Right.
Okay, don't be afraid to have a hard conversation. It's okay. I want to tell you this. Do you know what closers do? They're not afraid to have hard conversations with people. People don't want a butt kisser. They don't. They want you to be nice and respectful. They want you to be loving to them. We want to treat people great. Look, all those things matter. But if you're just going to be a people pleaser and a butt kisser, look, every single time that you guys asked me, what did I want to offer? What did I give you? A number you did not want to hear.
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
Every time I said the 28,000, you guys were like, shit, I don't even have a deal anymore. You know why? But you were the one that asked me what I wanted to offer. You should have never asked it. It's a very bad question, okay? Why would you give over complete control of the deal? You don't need to. Look, first of all, when the guy calls, he's 4 hours away. Number one, you guys should always ask, well, first of all, I have to ask an important question. Have you ever purchased a vehicle from us? Before I can even talk about price with you, I have to ask that question. No. Okay, well, number one, I'm going to get into the price, but the reason why I asked you that question is because we give our consumers something that no other dealership in the country gives. I'm going to explain this to you, okay? You have a trade-in, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it has how many miles?
8,000.
90,000 miles. Let me ask you this. You're trading it because the miles are getting higher, right? And if it breaks down, it's going to cost more money to own. I know there's not a lot of difference between the 16 and 18, but I know the trade cycle of people, why they trade. They trade because, hell, if that motor goes out on that 16 model, I'm just saying with 90,000 miles, even if it's a year from now, if the motor goes out, you're going to drive it, you're doing your, we didn't talk about work or business or pulling a mow, whatever it is, if it happened, well, that's a $7,000, $8,000 expense. The fact is, I'm guessing the truck isn't under warranty, and you probably have to pay for it. 90% of my consumers, my customers, my great customers that buy vehicles, they trade out of their trade cycles because they want to stay away from maintenance and cost. Could that have anything to do with why you're trading? You just don't want to get into that, so you go with something lower mileage again. That's a trade pattern, okay? At our dealership, our customers don't trade in that trade cycle. If you had bought this 18 F-150 from me, and let's fast forward 3 years from now, and you would have had 90,000 miles on it, guess what? You would have been under the Engines for Life program. Would you be, I'm going to ask you a question, Jared. Would you be trading out of your 16 F-150 four-wheel drive with 90,000 miles on it right now if you knew that you could keep it as long as you want, if the engine ever went out and you paid for it?
No.
You wouldn't be calling me right now, would you? Thank God you didn't buy your last car from me. You know why? Because I wouldn't be sitting here selling you another one now. That's why I asked you if you bought a vehicle from me. Because our customers don't trade with 90,000. They keep cars 3 times as long. Why? Because we're 3 times higher in all the critical areas that are important to your family. You see, Jerry, when you ask me what's my best price, are you putting price in your driveway or value? You're probably putting value for the price, right?
Right.
So the deal is that we focus on allowing our customers to keep their vehicles longer. Look, we're in Oklahoma. You know what Oklahoma does? We work out of our trucks. We drive them. We put 30,000 miles a year on our stuff. Okay? So we're not talking about a 15,000 a year driver. I mean, we drive 30,000 miles a year. So our owners, Seth Watley, every single vehicle purchased, and by the way, Jerry, the 18 F-150 you're looking at today with 32,000 miles, it has Engines for Life on it. I know you're 4 hours away. I get that. All you have to do is come down here once a year, right? Once a year. And what do you have to do?
Full treatment.
You have to do an engine treatment. It's $89. And guess what? That $89 allows the Engines for Life to stay in place for as long as you want. Notice I said for life. Jerry, how long are you? How old are you? How long? How old are you?
30. How far?
You're 30. Yeah. How long are you, Jerry? Hey, how old are you? You're 30. Jerry, if this truck had Engines for Life and everything drove great on it and you never had to worry about spending any more money, Jerry, would you drive this 18 F-150 that you're going to buy from me today for 10 years?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah, you would, because you're smart with your money. You know why I know you're smart with your money? Because the first thing that you asked me about was money. So how much money did I just save you if I could do that with you for the next 10 years? You can't even put a number on it. You see, when people buy trucks, they have what's called uncertainty. But never in your life have you had certainty where you knew if this motor was to go out, it would be paid for. Jerry, I'm not only selling you a truck today, okay? I'm selling you a truck that you can drive for the next 10 years. And by the way, Jerry, ask me how much that warranty cost.
How much?
It's free, Jerry. And when I say free, I mean no charge to you. We pay for it. If that engine goes out at $8,000, guess who's paying for it? We. And by the way, guess what we do? We'll come pick it up 4 hours away and bring it here and give you a loaner and fix it for you. We do it every single day. So with that being said, Jerry, does it seem like I'm high in all the critical areas that are important to you and your family? Yes, and I haven't even got into your trade-in and the financing and all of that stuff. And when you see how awesome we are at all that, you're just going to be blown away. Now, I scoot back around, I knock Jerry's lights out. Jerry's not thinking about price anymore. You know why? Because I overcame the price, okay? And I want to tell you guys this. Look, are you putting price in your driveway? Are you driving price or value? I'm driving value. That's an easy question. I might be concerned about price, but I'm really buying value. Value for the price. And the way that you say these little things, the reason why I'm recording this and I send it to you guys, is so you can listen to these little word tracks. Maybe tonight you're sitting in bed and you're writing it down. And you're like, oh man, that's good. You know what I'm saying? So all I was saying is that next time somebody starts hitting you on price, guess what? Don't panic. But if you take the word track that you learned out of this video and you write it down like 5 or 6 times, man, guess what? You just say it to yourself. You know, there's 100% of this video. You take freaking 6% of the time on this video and you write down 6% of those word tracks. And now you know if you were in person, this customer would close. Right. Guys, you're dealing with somebody across the telephone. Okay? And guess what? The key question in the beginning, the hook, right, was have you purchased a vehicle from us? That's where you guys have to start. That's an easy answer. And by the way, when someone asks you a question, great closers in life, if I ask you a question, you never answer it, you ask another question. Okay? What is your best price?
Hey, I completely understand you looking for the best price, but what about it is, I mean,
No.
Right.
Watch, ask me what's my best price.
What's your best price?
Great question. Have you purchased from us before?
Let's see,
See that? Right? That's what. That's my point. Great question. Have you purchased from us before? Now watch this. Where are you? You're here, and I just put you here. Now look, I know that I have to come back to this, okay?
Yeah.
But I can't just, going from here to here, this right here is going to be a short answer, and it's not going to be an answer you're okay with.
Right.
I already know it.
Yep.
Look, if I would have, you guys all said, well, hey, we don't put our second best price up front, we put our first best price up front. Listen, dude, you don't think every internet department in the country right now, hey, what about this? Hey, ask me what my best price is. And then I turn around and say, listen, and this could be thrown in. Look, guys, us as a dealership, we don't even price our own cars. Okay? We spend tons of money on expensive tools that actually price our vehicles for us. Now let me warn you, we only price compete with dealerships that are ranked as us. Okay? So if you go to Google and you check us out and you look around, guys, we run 5-star everything. With that being said, I'm not going to compete with the 3-star dealership that doesn't take care of their customers when we're a 5-star company. Okay? Listen, our company is high in all the critical areas that are important to your family. So I just want to tell you, if ABC Motors down the road's got the same truck for $29,900, I'm going to tell you this. You may have bought that from Abaginzi that bought it at the auction that had a clean Carfax that was wrecked, and then Abaginzi fixed it, sold it to the dealer. Okay? They knew that there was more profit to be made in the truck and they could price it cheaper. But the truck had been wrecked, but it was never reported. ABC Motors, who are they? Sir, do you want me to send you a picture of our establishment out in front of our place? This is on 11 acres. We've got a damn bass pond on our property where we fish while we're waiting on our next customer. You know what that means? You think our dealer has something to lose? Hell yeah, he does. But guess what? On the internet, you can see a lot of people that don't have anything to lose. And they what? They put the low dangling carrot out in front of you, and you're just chasing the carrot. Don't fall for those tricks. You're not putting price in your driveway, you're putting value. Value for the price. And at the end of the day, if I told you you could buy our car today and have a 10-year trade cycle where you never had to go through this process to trade out your car again, no, you wouldn't be trading your 16 right now, you know what I'm saying? If you knew it had engines for life on it, it didn't have anything. Dude, I'm going to tell you, nobody can do what we do. I always say in life, model what great people are doing. No one else can model it. You know why? Because no one else is willing to put the skin in the game for their customers like we are. Okay? We're on the hook with you. You see what I'm saying? An $89 oil treatment. That's all it is for the rest of your life. Okay? All I was saying is that we pay expensive money for tools that actually price our vehicles for us. We don't even price them. Look, if we get a vehicle after it gets out of service, if it's losing $4,000 or if it's making $90,000, it doesn't matter. The store tool prices the truck comparably with dealers like ours. Okay? We're only going to compete with dealers like ours. You know what I'm saying? It's in our league. Okay? People that we know take care of their customers. And at the end of the day, you're wanting to take care of or get taken care of, good. Or you're dealing with somebody that handles safe in that area. All I'm saying is you kind of start tying these little things together, and once you feel like you're getting off track, pull out that. You know, we're 85% to market on our pricing. I already know that. You're calling and asking what's my best price? Here's the beautiful thing. We pay expensive money for a tool that allows us to be 85% to market. Did I say NADA? Did I say Kelly Blue Book?
No.
I said to market. Who's market?
We
I'm the market. I'm the market, baby. My market.
market price.
Andy's market. Your market. So here's the deal. You're 85% to market. So you say that word to market, and they're looking up to market. You know what that means? Guess what? It's your market. And by the way, what is your market? What does that mean? What does market mean? Market means 5-star establishments that we compare and compete with. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you this. People, if you go right now to Range Rover probably takes good care of their customers, right? Yeah, they're $300 an hour at the service station. They better. But I'm going to tell you this. I bet if you found this 18 F-150 on Range Rover's lot, how much higher do you think that price would be? Probably $2,000 or $3,000 higher. You see, we compete with high establishments. Now let me explain something to you. There's 1,000 pieces on a machine that can break at any time. You better choose very carefully who you buy your car from and who you're buying it from. Number one, that they'll back you. And by the way, I don't care if you drove across the country. You guys know the Seth Wiley stories, right? You guys can pop one of those stories out at any time, okay? But I'm just saying, I'm going to give you guys some ammunition that doesn't have to do with this. What would you offer? I'm not asking what will you offer ever in my life. It's never going to come out. Well, how close to this could you come? You don't have to say that, okay? You don't need to say that. You need to convince them so much that they're to the point now where they're like, well, what can you do? And then you guys might say, look, there's a documentation fee that I've not seen waived, that I would go to bat for you to see if I could waive it.
Mm-hmm.
So I could go to bat for an out-the-door figure at this, and we waive the delivery cost. Because the visit from me to you is going to cost a truck, a driver, and by the way, be prepared to deviate at all times and go into this trade. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm going to tell you this, even if somebody gave you a better deal on your price, but they weren't great on a trade-in on your trade, I'm just going to tell you, you probably wouldn't take it, right? So, I mean, I don't even see that being the main factor. I think we have to be high in all the critical areas that are important in your family as far as trade-in, right, payment, price, right? If all three of those don't work together, the deal doesn't work, right? So why don't I put together a complete proposal for you of all the figures? Would that be okay? And that way you can see how great we are. But I think that it's okay to answer that price question by saying, hey, did you buy here? And then we go into our ammunition as far as like, you know, value for the price, you know what I'm saying, instead of just price. Because price, nobody's gonna win a price game. Nobody's gonna win a price game. That's an awful experience, and it's shitty, and it's crappy on the customer, and it's crappy on the salesman. And at the end of the day, you lose all rapport battling a price. I'll give you 28, you're at 32.
Yeah.
Right?
I see, just with you breaking all that down, I think our problem, or the good majority of the salespeople's problem is if you're working over the phone, be like that. At the point in time where it does come down to price and you feel like you've made a friend over the phone, or you feel like everything's working, you have everything working together, the deal's built, you call or rely on the sales manager to call, do that work for you. And so when the sales manager doesn't have time and he's in store busy taking care of other things, and you've got to be the one to make the call, we are conditioned right now, and most of us are conditioned to do, well, what will you do?
Yeah, don't say
Because we are at their discretion of them saying, hey, what will the guy do? You know, and the sales
Right.
managers, what will they do? Well, I'm not going to tell you what we own it for. I'm not going to tell you how much markup we have.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not going to tell
they're
you
setting you
anything.
up to get screwed.
Well, it's
I mean, honestly.
yeah, and we conditioned ourselves to it from walking away from that, like, well, I'm just going to see what I can get out of this guy.
Right, and once he
see
says
what
28,
sticks.
you're deflated.
You're deflated, right? And then it's,
You're like, man, this guy's an idiot, right? And all of a
Right.
sudden, he's not an idiot, but you've set him up to give him, like, listen, I'm gonna be
yeah,
honest.
You walk it all, yeah. you
What,
walk-
if I ask you what would you give me, do you think you're gonna give me something real close to that as far away as
as
possible?
far away as possible. impossible. Unrealistic as hell. Because
Right.
like you asked.
Well,
like,
because you don't want to say too high, and maybe you could have got a better deal.
and then you pay for it. Yeah, we pay for it. Yeah.
Salespeople get one shot to ask for all the money. Customers get one shot to hit you in the nuts, right? They do. So guess what, guys? They're still on the phone with you because they want it.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're-
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just telling you, they're still on the phone with you because they want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask me what I want, oof, that's a dangerous question, man. Be prepared what you're ready for.
Let's have a good time.
Because you see, they may have something completely different ready to give you. So my deal is don't ask that question. Never put yourself in a spot to have to ask someone that. You can say this, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, if you didn't have to trade out of your vehicle, right? Are you trading because you want the new body style, or just because you feel like you want to avoid maintenance, you want to have lower miles? Maybe you just want to have lower miles. You always love the lower miles on your vehicle. Why did you love lower miles? Think about why. Because you knew at 100,000 or 150 maintenance was going to occur, and you didn't want to have a monthly payment on top of all that maintenance payment. But what if this was the first time in your life you got to experience something different? Okay? You see what I'm saying? You're hooking these people. You're throwing statements that are grabbing them. Yeah. And listen, I'm going to tell you this. Look, you're not going to find this anywhere. Hang up the phone with me right now. Go price battle with all these dealers that want to do one thing, a one-time transaction. And guess what? 2 years from now, I'm going to tell you this. You're going to pick up the phone, call that dealer, and they're going to say, Mr. Customer, who? Did you buy an extended warranty? By the way, which is more money. Ask me what the charge on this lifetime engines is. It's no charge to you. We pay for it. Okay? And I'm just telling you, you guys can go into oil changes, and since this guy was 4 hours away, obviously we're using what's here. Okay, cool. So that kind of helps some stuff with pricing, right?
Yes.
Let's go into negotiating for a minute, and we'll start with Levi on this one. Okay?
Awesome.
So and we'll finish off on this, and this will be, let's say that I'm like, hey, is that still available? And Levi's like, yeah, I still got it. It's a nice truck. I put my hands on it. And I'm like, all right, I'm sending you some pictures of my trade-in. You know how it goes, right? You guys get the pictures.
Yeah.
Manager checks the deal out. Credit goes in, right? Okay? And I'm like, will you call me back and go over the numbers so we can solidify, and finalize the deal? So this is a part where the customer's been cool. We get to hear. We let's say we pulled the guy off price and was like, we're hiding all the critical areas that are important to your family, and we get the information on the trade, right? And then now we're like, let me show you how good we are on trade, and now we're pushing him off on price, but he still wants to see the total deal. He wants to see what you're going to come up with.
There's rapport built with this guy.
There's rapport built, everything's great,
Still over the
but
phone?
yeah, we're still over the phone, but here's the deal. So we used to hand these out in person and we would negotiate them, right? But this one, I'm going to say this. I'll set the tone. Guy's buying an 18 F-150, 32. He's trading a 16 with 90. He's paying $450 a month. He's 4 hours away, okay? And the guy's told you he's not going a penny over 500.
Now what's the
Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know the deal. He's telling you my goals.
what are we giving him for this?
I don't care.
20 grand.
Doesn't matter. Let's say he owes 20, you're giving him 20. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Okay? I just want you to know that I'm going to say I'm not going a penny over 500, and then the rest is history. Okay? We'll talk about it.
This guy's good credit or bad credit?
Great credit. Fuck. Hey, but you have a lot of good credit.
No,
credit.
exception to reality.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've been getting the worst credit recently.
Hey, well, you got a good credit one right now you're about to get a hold of. Okay?
This is tough. I'll do the best you can.
No, he's going to kill it. We're good. And this right here, that once you see how easy this is, you're just going to laugh.
I like your nail polish.
Thanks, bud, my daughter. Yeah. She loves sparkles. And this one's been on here for 3 weeks. So she nailed it, man. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. All right, so you're going to call me, and I'm like, hey, Levi, appreciate you reaching back to me. What did you find out?
Hey, what's going on, man? So I just got to talk to my manager, got all the figures together. Your credit obviously checked out great. You guys done a great job taking care of your credit over the years. With that, obviously we're going to fair market value for your vehicle. We actually end up giving you payoff on it, so that means that all you're going to finance is my sales price from you through 2.9. With that being said, you're going to be right at $580 a month. I know it's a little bit higher than you wanted to be, but currently, based on market value, we actually got you a really good approval that could take a couple hours to negotiate. Kind of worked with the bank, got a lot of the stipulations waived, and got you a really good APR.
Okay, so what's the payment again?
580.
Yeah, my wife said we can't go over 500 to get a new truck.
Oh, okay. What is that just kind of what you guys figured out, or
Yeah.
what's going on? Okay, I got you. Well, with that being said, I know obviously, most people when they come in, they want to be at a lower payment rate. The reason being because most people aren't quite familiar with their wants and needs versus what their budget actually is. So obviously, this is the right truck for you, and obviously I did give you a good trade value. I did get you payoff for it. I think we discussed previously that out of all the trucks that you found, this is the one that you wanted. So I don't think I'll be, I don't even miss your business over $130 a month.
Or 30 bucks. Or 80 bucks.
Oh yeah, well I guess 450. Okay, so yeah, I guess he wants to be at 500.
Yeah.
So $100 a month. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So what do you think a new motor costs? If you ended up driving off my lot, which was 2018, and 5 years from now the motor blew, what do you think it would cost you?
I don't know, $5,000 or $6,000.
I think it'd be probably about $6,000. Okay, we can roll with that. So let me ask you this: if you were to finance that $6,000, what do you think that would cost you?
I have no idea. But
So-
what does that mean? Where you're talking about the motor blowing?
Yeah. So if I were to be able to cover, the motor blowing on that, this is obviously a 72-month loan. So if the motor was in fact $6,000, the motor did blow on it, which could be now or it could be 10 years from now. You never really know. However, if you were to finance that thing, that would actually cost you about $83 a month. Fortunately for you, I'm not going to need to finance that. I'm going to cover that whole thing for you. I'm going to cover that whole thing for you. So with that being said, I'm actually going to be able to save you technically an extra $83 a month based on your your 6-year loan in 72 months. Not only that, but you're going from a 2016 to a 2018. What kind of motor does that 2016 have in it?
Okay, so check this out. So I want to tell you something real quick because listen, you're really good at handling stuff, and I want to tell you the way you explained it is very confusing.
Oh shit. Okay.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Are you right? I mean, no, I'm just saying this. Like, I know what you want to say. I want you to practice saying it.
We all knew where you were going because
We all knew.
we heard.
This is varsity.
Yeah.
You know where you're going with this customer. You know, you're asking about some stuff. So listen, has a customer taken ownership of your truck yet?
No.
No.
No. So they don't know the presence of your truck, but they do know the presence of those. So let's do this. Let's talk about an example of their truck. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So listen, let me ask you a question today. Whether you bought my new truck or you didn't, how does that relieve pressure?
Well, because
Because you're not pressured.
Right. I'm just saying, hey, Levi. So on the 580 payment, you said you could go to 500. Let me ask you a question. Look, whether you bought my new truck today or you didn't, I'm just gonna ask you a really simple question. On your old truck right now, it could be perfect, right? But it's out of warranty, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It has 1,000 working pieces on the machine. It could break at any point in time. Heaven forbid, the motor went out today on your old truck. You didn't even buy one. What do you think it would cost to put a brand new motor in? Wow. That's $6,000 on your motor. Even if you had the money, right? If you spent the $6,000, would it make your truck worth $6,000 more, or would it be worth the same amount of money? Because it has to be worth what it's worth as long as it has a working engine. The truck doesn't become worth any more money with putting a motor in it, does it?
No.
So you could potentially find yourself losing $6,000. Am I right?
Yeah.
And even if you maintenance your truck perfect, the fact is that it could happen. Am I right?
Yeah.
What if I told you when you bought the new truck that wasn't a possibility to happen ever? You're going from a truck that if anything broke and that motor went out, even if you decided not to buy my truck, I don't care what your payment is. That $6,000, you take that and add that to the $450 payment you're paying now, divide that by a year and see what kind of payment you have in maintenance. That's huge.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm telling you. A new truck, the 580 payment, and this is probably my fault. I didn't explain this. Your trade cycle is going to be infinity, which means your engine, right? Your transmission, is it your transmission?
No, it's
Engine?
just
Is
with
this
the oil touches.
Okay, it's just with the oil touch, so it's engine. So I would say my engine, right? If it was to go out, listen, I don't care if it happened next year, and it's at 32,000 miles. It ain't gonna happen. What if it happened next year or 10 years from now? If it goes out, I don't care if it costs $10,000. Levi, it costs you nothing. When you talk about, do you know the difference between a variable payment and a fixed payment? A variable payment is when somebody has a monthly payment, they're paying on something, but other things can occur and they cost money. So even though you think that the monthly payment costs this, it really costs more because when the other things break, it's actually more money leaving the bank. A fixed payment is actually a monthly payment, and when something breaks, it's paid for, so the payment never changes. Your new truck will have a fixed payment, where your old truck has a variable payment. The payment can go up and down, depends on what breaks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to get out of that? No matter how nice your truck is, guess what? You're not Nostradamus. You can't predict tomorrow whether that engine's going to go out or not. Something can happen and it can break. That's it. So what you're saying to me was great, but the way you went around it and did it, you went to 72 months and you divide that by this, that's $83 a month. Remember this, these people aren't in front of you, they don't know what you're talking about. You gotta be really transparent with them, okay? So I'm gonna come back to you, because I'm gonna give you a straight run with this.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yep.
Okay, I want you to go at it.
Yep.
Is that cool? Okay, alright, so here's the deal. So,
You got a good rapport with the guy, right?
yeah, present the
Okay,
numbers.
perfect.
Okay, Gian, what's my payment? What's my payment gonna be?
Well, can I go from the beginning?
Yeah, thanks for calling me back, Gian. What'd you find out?
Man, I'm over here and I got you a great approval. Andy, let me ask you real quick, what are you doing?
Nothing. I'm hanging out.
Nothing, so I have complete concentration.
Yeah, I know.
Because here's the deal, when I do this, I usually do this with people in person.
Okay.
And that means I have their full concentration, and what we're gonna go over is very important. So do you have the time right now to process everything I'm doing?
Yeah, I think that's great. You have time to sit down.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I think that's great what he's
I
asking.
do too, because he's
Oh, I
asking
do.
for the, but it's hilarious
I
the way
know.
he's doing
Oh, I
it.
do.
He's like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, let's. Hey, no, you're saying this. That look, normally what I'm about to go over with you is done face to face, so it's real important to me because of compliance that I make sure that I go over X, Y, and Z, and that you know what I'm saying. We don't like misunderstand anything because I will be delivering the vehicle. So, could you please get a pen and piece of paper and go to a place where you're in a spot where you can really sit down and talk to him? It's perfect because if he's driving with his wife in the car with the kids in the back seat, you're gonna try to do this right then. That ain't gonna work. Okay, cool. Good
I
job.
got it from this guy,
I
right?
know I thought of it. Hey,
Andy, what are you doing?
all right, let's go. But that's good. All right, go.
That was terrible. 80, I taught him that.
So where I'm at right now, and this is really, I'm shocked that I was able to get you this, but currently on your 16, get that pen and paper and write 2 lines down. On one side, you're gonna write the 18 that you're gonna buy, and on the other side, you're gonna write the 16.
Okay.
So on the 16, you have the 450 payment, where you're looking to go up to the 500. That's what you budgeted for, $50 a month, correct?
You're right.
All right, perfect. And on mine, write 32.9, write the 18. Also, right there, you're gonna go up two years in model, and you're gonna drop 60,000 miles on my vehicle. And on that, write a 580 payment.
Okay.
That's where your payment's gonna be.
Okay.
So right now, you budgeted for. Oh, I'm sorry, I misworded
No,
that. I
you're
should've
doing
said
good.
that.
Just pick up right there.
So right now, you budgeted $50 a month, and you're gonna be at 580.
And you've made the guy write down on a piece of paper the 18 and the 16, which means you have control of the cell, and you tell him to write it down because you say the way that our dealership operates is we want you to actually write this down as we go over it with you, just to make sure that you're understanding everything we're saying. So that way, at the end of it, if you say, okay, we're delivering the vehicle and there's no like miscommunication. Is that fair? I know a lot of dealers just rattle something off, but when we're taking a car 4 hours out there to you, I mean, for your respect and ours, right? Instead of doing it 2 or 3 times, we can just do it once the right way. Does that make sense? You guys picking up on that?
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm telling you, what he's saying is that these people will write these down. I promise you they will. But you have to say it the right way. Because you're so important to us, we want to make sure that you have something to write with and you write it down as we're going over. He's actually telling the customer now what to write, and we're not really sure why, but listen, he knows why. That's all that matters. Plus, remember this, when somebody writes something down, 90% of what's written is remembered. So if you're just saying stuff verbally to them, we know during a negotiation, the only thing that you'll remember is the last part of the negotiation, if nothing is written down. So all the stuff that you're saying right now will be forgotten unless they write it. So they're on the other side of the phone. Okay, we'll just replay it. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, if you have time, number one, can you get to a place with no distractions? Can you grab a pen and a piece of paper? I would like for you to write down what I'm going to go over with you. That way I'm compliant and you're taken care of. That's good. I love it. All right, cool. Go ahead. Keep going.
All right, so on
So
one side,
I wrote it down.
on one side you got the 16, on one side you got the 18.
Yep.
So on the 16 right now you have 90,000 miles and it's 2 years older than the
Okay.
Sound right?
Yep.
And on the 18 you're getting a 2-year newer vehicle with 60,000 miles less on it.
Okay.
So not only will you be getting a newer vehicle with less issues, you'll be getting a set quality promise, which is engines for life and oil changes for life. Right? You can't really take advantage of the oil changes because you're far away, but you only got to do a 1-hour maintenance routine with me 1 time a year. That'll get you the engines for life. Now all of that, the newer vehicle, you're going 2 years newer, you're getting much less miles, you're getting basically a service contract that's at cost at zero for you. You're just
Now here's what I would like you to do. You say, hey, do me a favor. Would you write SW promise? Would you please write that down on a piece of paper for me? Because I have to let you understand something. The reason why we're the number one dealership in Oklahoma is for one reason. SW promise. Okay? That's a Seth Wadley promise, okay? But it just says we're on the phone. I want you to abbreviate it. Okay? We get oil changes for life, which you may never take advantage of, or you could here and there, okay? Because I understand you're 4 hours away. But underneath that, I want you to write engines for life. I want to explain this to you. If your old vehicle right now, and this is where he says your old vehicle right now had a full warranty on it where you could drive it as long as you wanted, the engine never went out, would you be trading it this soon, or would you probably be keeping it just a little bit longer? You'd probably be keeping it. So we know in the new vehicle, your trade cycle is going to be way longer, and you can actually have control when you trade, not when your vehicle breaks down. Because if it breaks down, it's going to get fixed if the motor goes out for free. I want to ask you something. What would you, what do you guys say? What is that called? The assessment? What is that?
CNA is what it's called.
But what is that?
Need analysis.
No, but in the beginning though, where you have customers value what they rate the Seth Wadley promise.
We call it the supplemental
I
promise.
mean, but isn't there a number where you ask them what do you value this
Yeah.
at?
Yeah, so it's just like,
Evaluation
it's like
at
each
the
thing.
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a
the
line.
evaluation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the evaluation, they go through each individual.
Well, at this point, I would ask one question.
Perceived value from the customer, yeah.
Yes, I would ask one question. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, what would be the perceived value if I paid, we're giving you engines for life with this brand new truck when you buy it, okay, this 18 with 30,000 miles. What would you're not having to pay for it, it's free of charge, but if you had to pay for it, what would the perceived value be for that? 2,000, 3,000, I'm gonna throw out some numbers and I'm hoping you're just gonna agree. If not, even if you shoot low and it's 1,500, I'm just gonna write it down. I'm just gonna say, if it comes back around where they say they want more, you can say, well, I'm giving you 1,500 for free. I'm just going back and matching the number. Does that make sense? So I think you should make them write that SW promise. You already did a good job making me write the other stuff. Don't stop now.
Right.
Make them write.
$2 sign.
Make them write. Okay, all right, keep going. So I wrote down the SW, I got the promise.
You got the
I
promise.
see, oh wow, that's amazing.
How much
Okay.
would you value that at?
I don't know, maybe 1,500.
1,500. So under the Seth Wadley promise, also add $1,500 in the plus side next to it that you'll be getting for free.
Okay.
Now with that being said, at $580, just $2 a day on what you budgeted, would you like to take delivery to your house or to your place of business?
But I don't feel like I can afford the 580. If you can get it to 500, I'd love to do this deal.
So if I get to 500, we'll do the deal.
Yep.
Okay? Sounds good. Now let me ask you, are you aware with the difference in ownership cost and the initial purchase price?
Well, I didn't say the word price, you don't want to say that.
And the initial purchase?
Yeah, be careful with your words.
Yeah, you're getting.
Because you might say price now, now I'm like, well, maybe if you gave me a better deal, I could get to
Is that
500.
where you go back to variable fixed payment loss? Is that where you're talking about?
I don't know. I just want to hear, but I don't want to hear him to say things that he doesn't want to bring up,
Mhm.
right? One of the worst things you could do is say, it's like, you have to stay away from negative keywords, okay? You know what I'm saying? I didn't say anything about the price. I just said I think the payment's too high.
So are you aware with ownership cost?
Why don't you do one better? Are you familiar with the ownership unit?
Alright, okay.
Okay, I mean, be specific, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm probably, never in my life before you're in the car business, did you understand what ownership cost, ownership price, any of that means. So be very specific with it.
Are you familiar with ownership payment?
What do you mean?
So basically, I always like to go over my questions with this because it's a crucial aspect whenever you buy a car. So basically what that means is that if you pay $500 a month, which you have to spend $250 to exit, what would your total monthly payment? $750. So a lot of these dealerships are giving you this low-hanging fruit where you buy the car for even lower where you want to be at $450 monthly, but you have to put $300 in repairs and your total monthly price ends up being $750.
Okay, so take this, take low hanging fruit, which means easy stuff, and call it, they have this little low dangling carrot that they swing in front of your face to bite on it because it's a cheap payment, but that cheap payment doesn't give you any, I don't know, protection, okay, you call it protection, it doesn't give you any value, okay, and basically that payment, it's called a variable payment. That payment could go up or down because if something breaks, you have to pay for it. That's the case on your old truck right now. So when we're looking at lower payments, you're looking at just monthly payments. But I'm gonna tell you right now, on your old truck, if something was to break, would it cost you more to fix it? Absolutely. Well, guess what? That's the reality of what you have now, not even trading into my truck. But if you go up just a little bit on my truck, and I say the word going up, you're not actually going up. You're actually paying the same money you're paying on your old truck, because of the maintenance and stuff, right? I mean, on this truck, it's got 36,000 miles, or 32. It might have bumper to bumper left, it might have powertrain, and then you could pitch the stuff while they deal. Just say, man, I mean, I'll just tell you this, heck, if you spent freaking $1,200 one time in a year, guess what? That's $100 a month in a small maintenance payment. Just compare my old truck to your new truck you want to buy to the old one. I mean, that's going to be the same money. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but go ahead. I want you to use your words then.
Okay. So where am I?
You're at. I want to be at 580, and whenever I said I want to be at 500, and you're at 580, right? You said okay, cool. And then go to the next one.
Okay. So right now I'm just trying to get a close at 580. 500. So are you familiar with ownership payment?
No, what do you mean?
Basically what I mean when I say ownership payment is that a lot of dealers will send you this slow handling shares that you can buy on, and they'll sell you a vehicle for even less than where you want to be for $450, but you end up paying $300 a month.
They'll sell you a vehicle for $500 a month.
500. Don't say 450.
No, because they don't want to be at 450. They're going to be at 500.
500. So they'll sell you a vehicle for where
No, you guys see how we're listening to his words? Listen, when I tell you this, sometimes when you're negotiating, you'll say words that you don't mean to say. Be careful. Yeah. Look, this dealership, you want to be at 500? They'll give you the 500 penny. But at the end of the day, like what's coming out of your bank account is going to be more than 580 a month. And you could have just bought my truck for 580 a month and been squared away. And what I mean by squared away is X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense? And then that's how you go here. Be short with your answers, be quick, but watch your words. One of the biggest deals, I'll tell you, like when I hear you guys talking, why I just have you talk, it's because I want to hear the words that are coming out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You know, like literally the words. All right, let's finish off with Levi and we're done. Is that cool? Okay? Okay. All right, hold on. I'm not worried about the payment. I want more for my trade. Okay, come on, man. I wasn't gonna make it that easy on you, big guy.
All right.
All right, you ready? All right, so you call me back, and I'm like, hey, Levi, what'd you find out?
Okay, man. So here's what I did for you. I went in and got all that trade information. Your VIN, miles, everything like that. What I did is I plugged that into a giant database. What that database does is it double checks Kelly Blue Book, NADA, MMR, which is my auction websites, third party, and wholesalers. Right, check all of those for me. So what that is that gives me a really good number as to what fair market value is for your trade. That's provided you with, and it was right at $20,000, which I think, luckily for you, is in fact payoff for your trade.
Okay. Okay, so I appreciate that, and I thank you for getting me all those numbers. I want to get 22 grand from my trading though. If you can get me the 22 grand, I think you got yourself a deal.
Perfect. Yeah, and obviously, I completely understand that. I would always want more for my trade, especially if I love my truck. It's obvious that you love yours. But let me ask you this. So obviously, I mean, you like my sales price on my vehicle, right?
Sure. I didn't ask you to discount it, so I think that should allow you to give me more on mine.
Yeah. So it's pretty.
I'm sure most of your customers want a better deal, but I didn't ask for one.
Exactly. So luckily, that's kind of how we do business around here. So you can look at it like this. The reason why you like my sales price on my vehicle so much is because we gave that person fair market value for their trade as well. The reason being is because on my dealership, when we take a trade in, we don't do what most typical dealers do, which would be, we're going to slap some new oil in there, maybe touch it up in the detail department, put it out on a lot, and let somebody else buy it. Fortunately for you, that's not how we do business. What we do, whenever I take your trade in, I'm going to put that thing in my service department. I'm going to do an extensive multi-point inspection. I'm going to fix everything that's wrong with it, make sure it's absolutely roadworthy, and a retail piece rather than a wholesale piece. What that means is that, if it needs new tires, I'm going to put new tires on. If it needs an oil change, if it needs any new belts, hoses, anything like that, I'm going to get that fixed for you. So basically what that means is I can guarantee that this vehicle is going to be an absolutely reliable vehicle at the time of sale. And with that being said, that does cost me money to put in my service department and get sold to you at a fair price. That's kind of what we're doing here. So the next person that's going to buy your vehicle is going to buy it at a fair price, and it's going to be absolutely roadworthy, similar to the way that you're buying mine.
Okay, cool. You gave an answer. Good job. I'm not going to beat you up too much. I just want to ask, what do you have ready to say? And as long as what you have ready to say isn't, how much more do I have to give you? Could we split the difference? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, never do that stuff. Your answer, they may come back and say, well, I need a little more, but guess what? As long as you're not going to your go-to, as long as your go-to isn't what we talked about in the beginning, how much more can you pay? You know what I'm saying? How close to this can you come? Could you split the difference with me? up to, you know, no more than, you know what I'm saying? Like words like that. I just want you to have stuff tattooed on your heart. And what you just told me about all the, you know, hey, if you were to, you know, send your sister to me and she was to buy your truck that you traded in today, would you want me to sell it to her the way it was right now, or do you want me to service it and get it ready for her, make it new to her and her family?
Oh,
Probably service it, make it new for her and her family, right?
Yeah, that's good.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I just took what you said and I took it down about that big and just kind of short jabs. Remember they talked about Bruce
It's
Lee?
more emotionally charged too.
Yeah, that's why I said your sister.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I always want familiarity. You know what I'm saying? But look, they used to say Bruce Lee had this hit, right?
1-inch punch.
It was a 1-inch.
Well, he had a 1 inch and a 5 inch. 1 inch is where he started from here, and a 5 inch is where he landed.
Oh, that's the ninja stuff. Okay. Well, I wasn't that familiar. I just always was watched that 1-inch. I watched this video one time where he hit this bat right there, and there was other dudes that punch in this bat, and this bat would like go out. But Bruce Lee would do this 1-inch, and like there was so much impact in that hit, the bag would go boom, and you're like, what the heck? How'd that happen? And that's my deal. Is that I want you guys to know that you guys just have impact. That's all that matters. Your words are crucial, and I didn't beat on you too much, right? Because you're over here, you told me you didn't want to get beat on, but you're getting to hear these guys. This is enough training for you to hear this. And I want to tell you that literally at the end of the day, just pick your words carefully. Okay? There has to be a day in your life where you say, you know what, I'm a different caliber of salesperson now. I don't just talk, I actually listen, and I choose my words very carefully. And when I speak, I have one word, I have impact. When I speak, people move. I'm able to persuade. What is a persuader? A persuader is to have someone else see the way that you see, right? To transfer the